You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's, part of PK80, presented by State Farm. Welcome to Portland. And it's day 2 of the PK80. We're at Memorial Coliseum to see the defending national champions, number 9, North Carolina, take on Arkansas, who's 4-0 as well, in a rematch of the second round of the NCAA tournament from last year. A look at the victory bracket. Both these teams winning yesterday. North Carolina knocked out Portland. Arkansas lasted Oklahoma. Good matchup coming up later. It's UConn against number 4, Michigan State. In the motion bracket, Duke will take on Texas shortly across the street here at the Moda Center. And number 7, Florida against number 17, Gonzaga. Great matchup tonight to cap the motion bracket here in Portland. Along with the Hall of Famer, Bill Walton. I know you're a little busy. Roxy
Wait,
Bernstein
man,
with you.
this is really good here. What do you got, Roxy?
You've read it how many times?
Not enough.
Clearly. We got a good matchup. Before
what
we get
a day,
to
though, Oregon.
Bill, but before we get to your history here at the Glass Palace, which you have some fond memories of.
Come on,
let's
it's
talk
a
about
sunny
this
day
game.
outside. The river just looks beautiful. There's little drops of dew on the rain. We're just having the time of our life, and this building looks spectacular. But the fantastic basketball action that we're about to witness right here is going to come right down to outstanding guard play. Who can bring it? Joel Berry, the most outstanding player in last year's championship run for the Tar Heels. Kenny Williams is on fire, playing the best ball of his life. He's healthy. We're all fortunate for that. And then these two guys on the right for Mike Anderson and the Razorbacks. Ooh, Pig Suey. Barford, Macon, these guys can deliver. They are primed. They are pumped. We have got a game. Let's go. Woo,
More on the
Pig
rematch.
Suey.
Let's send it over to Jeff Goodman.
Daryl Macon and the rest of the Arkansas players are trying to downplay this matchup, but I was there a year ago when they were knocked out by Carolina in the second round on a debatable Joel Berry traveling call. Arkansas had the game in control in the second half. Carolina came back, a different team for the Tar Heels, but most of the same guys for Arkansas.
North Carolina wins the opening tip, and I'm still shocked you were talking about guards in our open, Bill.
Jeff, is that you, Jeff, over there? Nobody in North Carolina is debating that call.
Here is Joel Berry driving to the basket.
Great
shot
block.
by Adriel Bailey, and Arkansas controls.
So much of this game could come down to the depth of the front court for North Carolina. They have so many players. Arkansas has to play incredibly fierce, tenacious basketball without fouling, but don't get too conservative. Nice runner.
Short from Anton Beard. Loose ball controlled by the Razorbacks, and underneath it's Trey Thompson for the game's first points.
Trey Thompson is such a pillar of strength, a foundational mountain out there for Mike Anderson. What a game we have in front of us today, Roxy.
Did you like what you saw from Arkansas yesterday in their win against Oklahoma?
I saw a lot of things, but they're going to have to be significantly better today to win this game.
Two teams that can fill it up, both averaging over 90 points per game.
Arkansas has beaten North Carolina a few times in years gone past.
Jalen Barford with the hoop. And a quick start for Arkansas. And seniors getting involved for the Razorbacks.
Mike Anderson, Nolan Richardson basketball. Mike has got his foundation from Nolan. Their idea, we're going to come out, we're going to play every single possession as if it's the most important ever. And I love that. Rebounders, Razorbacks, Woo Pig Suey.
Luke May with the miss.
What does that mean, by the way?
Woo Pig Suey?
Yeah.
It's their call.
I know a call. Yeah, but what does it mean?
Do you need a meeting?
Yeah, like Iko. I know what that means.
What does it mean, Bill? Do you know?
It means we've got a game. Who wants to play?
Let's go. First of just a handful of Grateful Dead references today.
They're on tour right now. You know, we talked about the Dylan tour
and you're
yesterday.
Here?
Yeah, well, I'm going to miss the entire tour. I was in China. Now I'm here. Now I'm going to Berkeley. They're playing well.
Theo Pinson the miss from 3. And a rebound, fighting for Thompson inside position, but a foul is going to go against Arkansas and Trey Thompson.
So one of the real challenges for all these young players is to come and deliver each and every day. I mean, Mick Jagger said it best when he was lecturing all the young artists, when he said, your responsibility to put the show on every single time. It's an early start, I don't care. It's cold in here, I don't care. It's not a full house, I don't care. Let's see who's got a game. Luke May is out there fierce as can be.
And he draws a foul, will go to the line. And a foul in Arkansas. And there's Roy Williams, who recently picked up his 400th win as the North Carolina head coach, 15 seasons at Chapel Hill, after 15 outstanding years at Kansas.
How many does he have overall?
This would be year 30.
He only has 30 wins?
Oh, wins overall. I thought you meant
said
seasons.
You said he
has
just picked
820 wins overall.
Okay. And how many does Coach K have?
There's over
1,000. Okay. So you know what today is?
We figured out that math was not your strong point.
You know how we're celebrating Phil Knight's birthday?
And what number is it?
It's going to be 80 in February. PK 80, that's why the name.
Just double checking to see if you know.
I wanted to know if you knew.
I could put 2 and 2 together. I was worried about you.
But can you subtract 40 from whatever number we're on? Anyway, today is Oscar Robertson's 79th birthday. Oscar Robertson, as great a player who has ever played. And I want to see, I'm a firm believer in evolution. And
you made that clear.
I want to see beautiful interior passing.
Jump ball, arrow goes to Arkansas.
I want to see who can play like Oscar Robertson. A guy who was a 2-time state champion in high school at Crispus Attucks in Indianapolis, 3-time Final Four participant for Cincinnati. He was a 3-time scoring leader in college basketball while at Cincinnati, the first of 3 players to be 3-time Player of the Year in college basketball. And I want to see the evolutionary step to who's next. Is it going to be Bacon?
Shot clock rolling down. To the basket, Barford the scoop with the left hand.
Yesterday, it was Macon who was just on fire early. Trey Thompson once again showing his incredible understanding of physics, angles, chemistry, biology, and evolution.
Step back from Barford. And the rebound, Luke May and the Tar Heels.
Great defense, Joel Berry.
Joel Berry pushes. Has his shot blocked by Trey Thompson.
Send it back. The challenge in the big picture for Joel Berry, Kenny Williams, all the Luke May, Theo Pinson, is to take this raw group of youngsters who are the next generation of star Tar Heel players and show them what it takes to be the champion. Because these guys, the veterans, they know.
And a steal for Jalen Barford.
The young guys have no clue as to how hard it is.
And a block shot from Theo Pinson.
Send it back, Theo.
Arkansas, the early lead
Shades
over
of Theo
North
Ratliff.
Carolina. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. And in part by One and All from Nike Basketball.
The Steel Bridge, one of 12 that cross the Willamette.
On Wednesday night, all the teams involved in the PK80, including the women's teams playing in Eugene, attend a reception at the Tiger Woods Center on Nike's campus in Beaverton. Chairman and Nike co-founder Phil Knight addressed the group. Players were shown a video feature of LeBron James. Learned about the history.
Is that Eric Lottenbach doing the interview right there? How
that is
cool.
Eric.
Eric, what a legend, in charge of college basketball for Phil and Nike. Congratulations, Eric.
And great performances on day one. We saw Joel Berry as North Carolina knocked off Portland. Daryl Macon leading Arkansas in their win against Oklahoma. Then in the motion bracket, Marvin Bagley III as Duke had to come from behind against Portland State.
I watched a lot of basketball yesterday and last night as well. And there was one moment that just really made me sad and embarrassed. At halftime, one of the bridge shows on our network, there was a round table or panel of coaches, all from the SEC. And all I heard was whining and complaining and excuses about how hard their life is. And I was disappointed. I was embarrassed. I mean, it's a privilege to be a part of this. But it's a great honor to be a coach. And to come out there and show no enthusiasm, to show no joy, to show no respect, no appreciation, no gratitude for the honor that you have of being responsible for who's next. Come on, wake up. If you don't like your job, go change your job and get another one. Because there are people out there who do want to be part of something special.
Bill, they love their job. There's no doubt about that.
I
They're just
watched
trying to make
the
it
show.
better. The reverse lay-in by Adriel Bailey.
I watched the show. I was never so embarrassed in my life. Not any one of them had a positive thing to say about anything. It was like, my goodness. We got a game
Let's get
here.
to this game.
Iko. Wow.
Banked
nice.
in by Garrison Brooks. Not sure if he meant to do it.
I guarantee you he did not.
But that's
but
the
a
first
shot,
field goal for North Carolina.
A shot like that changed the course of history in June of 1977.
And a foul off the ball against the Tar Heels and a hold called on Joel Berry.
Up at the
Call
top,
this, Bill?
Garrison Brooks, 6'9" freshman from Lafayette, Alabama. There's no way that was an intentional bank. Great defense once again. Trey Thompson. The way that Trey Thompson can make positive contributions without fouling, he's going to have to do that for a full 40 minutes today.
Arkansas, one of the veteran teams in college basketball. They're one of three power conference teams that has 6 seniors on their roster. And the seniors getting involved early.
And the academic success that these Arkansas Razorbacks have achieved over the course of the year. 3.0 team average there. 18 current and former players over the last few years.
Shot clock violation against Arkansas.
Have all graduated. Mike Anderson, he's got it rolling there. And they've got control of this game. UNC has 4 points 6 minutes into the game, please.
And they're just 1 of 9 from the floor. A rough start offensively for the Tar Heels, who average over 94 points per game.
Turnovers, missed shots, no spark offensively here.
And
Guards have got to get
turnover.
it going. Roy Williams has got to have an attack plan of late. Take it to the hoop. Get these guys from Arkansas in foul trouble. They don't have the depth that we have. We can just come at them with the Missoula flood wave constantly.
4 turnovers already by the Tar Heels. So Arkansas in control of this one early, at least at their style of play.
Arkansas needs better spacing on that type of cut down the inside of the post, please.
Mishandled in the post by Sterling Manley.
It's like they're playing with gloves on. In the playground, we just call that board hands.
Anton Beard, the pull-up.
Nice shot. Rhythm and flow for the Razorbacks right now, and really a lot of nothing for North Carolina. I mean, North Carolina is one of the 4 top programs in all of basketball today. They're one of the 5 top programs in the history of all basketball. Nice pass.
Sterling Manley underneath.
What a fine-looking young man he is from the Columbus, Ohio area. He was telling me before the game how when he was 15 or so in high school, he went to China with De'Aaron Fox and Akeem Olajuwon on a big celebratory tour for Akeem's birthday over there. Said he had the time of his life. Shanghai, Beijing, Great Wall, the sites that we always get to go see, Roxy.
We're lucky enough to get to take part in that as a deep 3. Daryl Macon on the miss, and it's controlled by the Tar Heels.
Will China have us back next year after what happened this year?
Kenny Williams from deep,
Yeah.
and North Carolina is within 1.
The quick swing of the high post. Get the ball to the weak side.
Daniel Gafford in the lane. Loose ball, and it's Luke May controlling for the Tar Heels. And a foul called against Arkansas. And Daniel Gafford, the freshman, called for his first. And
ill-advised foul there. They need him for 40 minutes to
Bill, 40 years ago, in this building.
40? You sure got the date right.
You sure the year? What year is that?
77.
Walton's World coming up. Who's that guy?
Now that was a party. I love parades. And that was a special one.
It was 40 years ago. We were the youngest team in the history of the NBA to ever win the championship. 10 years ago, on the 30th anniversary of the championship game, Jack Ramsey was asked in front of the NBA audience to put our team's historical perspective into words. And he said, "I like our team, and we'll take our chances anywhere, anytime, against anybody." I'm with Jack Ramsey.
And I'm with Bill Walton, who 40 years ago led the Blazers to a world championship. And how about this? 40 years ago, you're king of the mountain, Bill.
What a team, what a time, what a place. We had Maurice Lucas, we had Jack Ramsey, we had the Blazer Maniacs, and nobody else did. There was no stopping us. It was fantastic. To come into this building here today, Roxy, what do you got here?
That's for you. Look at that guy.
Yeah, look at that red hair.
That's Big Bill.
I got that rebound.
It looks like you did.
I did get that rebound.
And North Carolina will get a couple of free throws, but
will somebody please get a rebound? I love to rebound. You know, on this day, speaking of rebounders, Wilt Chamberlain, 57 years ago.
What year is
On
that?
this date, 1960.
Okay.
He set an NBA record of 55 rebounds in one game. They hosted the Boston Celtics in Philadelphia. Wilt had 34 points and 55 rebounds, and they lost the game, 132 to 129. In the 142 times that Wilt and Russell squared off in the NBA, Wilt had career averages in over 142 games of 29 points and 29 rebounds against Bill Russell every single time.
Let's get back to 77.
Okay.
Now, your team, Jack Ramsey, your favorite player of all time, Maurice Lucas.
No.
Your favorite teammate, I should say.
Greatest teammate ever. My favorite player of all time is Bill Russell. Please. Accuracy. This is the greatest teammate I ever had. And because the nicest thing anybody ever said about me as a basketball player was that I helped my teammates play better. Nobody made me play better than Maurice Lucas. And that's what Joel Berry and Theo Pinson and Kenny Williams are going to do for their teammates. That's what this guy does.
Rattles in for Luke May in the first lead for the Tar Heels.
Luke May makes his players, his teammates better. He finishes, he creates, he thinks, he initiates. He's very much like Bob Gross, who's like Terry Porter, his number 30's retired here in Portland.
Justin Thomas lost the ball. And a foul against Arkansas. North Carolina finding a little bit of a rhythm here.
And I believe that Luke May is not related to Sean May, who is one of the members of the coaching staff here, the basketball staff guy, Sean May.
Did you ask Sean May that? Because I saw you talking to him for a while before the game.
I had a great conversation with him. There's Sean right there in the blue shirt, but Sean doesn't have an E on the end of his name.
There's a few differences,
but
that's
Sean, you know, his dad was an absolute legend. You know, a member of an undefeated national championship team, college player of the year.
11 straight for the Tar Heels.
Sean himself was most outstanding player in the 05 Tar Heel championship squad. Roy Williams' first title. But right now,
offensive foul in Arkansas.
Right now, the Razorbacks are just falling apart. Where's the offensive leadership? This has got to be Macon and Barford and Beard. Get the ball to Trey Thompson. Got Dustin Thomas out there. Did a nice job for the Colorado Buffaloes before transferring to Arkansas, closer to his hometown. You know, Dustin Thomas is from Texarkana, which is...
Have you been there?
I think I have.
You think you have?
Yes.
But you're not sure?
It was a long time ago. Luke May.
7
on
for
a
May.
clinic.
And the lead is 7 for North Carolina, a 13-0 run for the Tar Heels.
Johnny Cash is going to write a song about this debacle right here. Great defense.
Arkansas scoreless for over 3 minutes. Luke May blocks the shot.
And the big blue wave just curls over the top.
Out of bounds. We're going back the other way to Arkansas.
I think they called a timeout to maintain possession. No, I can't figure this out. Luke May, this wheeling and dealing, getting everything he wants. Stands there patiently, waits for the offensive guy to just Beard to bring the ball right into his block shot. Come on. How about one of the things that most impressed me about yesterday with North Carolina was everybody who drove to the basket was thinking about passing that ball.
Tough three from Daryl Macon ends the drought for the Razorbacks. More, here's Jeff Goodman.
Yeah, Luke May a year ago, in fact, when they played Arkansas in the second round of the NCAA tournament, was a fairly anonymous player. And then his life completely changed when he hit that big shot to beat Kentucky. In fact, I saw him walking down the street with his family in Memphis the day before he hit that shot, and nobody came up to him. Nobody knew who he was. After that, he told me his life has completely changed. Now he goes around campus. Everybody knows who he is. Even around here, people know who Luke May is, and his role has completely changed this year. Only played 10 minutes in that game against Arkansas last year.
How does the song go? The faceless and anonymous come to beat down your door.
Macon again for three. And the rebound falls to Garrison Brooks. It's amazing that May came to North Carolina as a walk-on. And now he has 9 to lead the Tar Heels.
What's amazing is that Arkansas is even this close. I mean, they started very well, have completely gone cold. There's no on-court leadership right now. Mike Anderson's got to light a fire here under Macon and Barford and Beard.
And the Tar Heels doing a much better job of taking care of the basketball. Dealing with the Arkansas pressure early was tough for them.
And the Hogs got nothing out of Daniel Gafford, the most promising player.
Anton Beard knocks down a three.
One of the lessons in life that you learn from Shoe Dog, define the terms of the conflict. Make them play your game.
Pass to May.
What hands.
And he's fouled and will go to the line as North Carolina now is making Arkansas play their game.
Well, North Carolina's taking it to the rim. North Carolina's defense is just too solid. Plus, they've got the best player who's allowed to get away with shuffling his feet on the way to that very nice kiss off the glass.
This was moments ago here at the PK80.
Having the time of our life.
Oh.
Tripped over the line.
But one guy having no problems right now for North Carolina, Bill, is Luke May.
He's playing the most cerebral game of all, and why not? He's an academic all-ACC player, as his dad was. His dad, Mark, was a quarterback for the Tar Heels back in the mid-'80s, but Luke May right now is just directing everything. Defense, shuffling the feet, finishing on the offensive end, driving to the hoop, blocking shots, igniting fast breaks.
20 points, 10 rebounds in the win against Portland yesterday. Just, 27 steps away at the Moda Center?
27, yes. Speaking of steps, did you take the leap of faith and watch Phil Knight's Hall of Fame speech last night on YouTube?
No, I didn't.
Well, it was from 2012, but it's out there. And same year that Jamal Wilkes, Reggie Miller, and Don Barksdale, 3 UCLA Bruins, all went into the Hall of Fame.
Kenny Williams. There's May again for North Carolina. Cleared by Beard and the Razorbacks.
But it was a brilliant speech. It was also Phil and Penny's, I believe, offensive foul. Easy play to call. I believe it was Phil and Penny's 40th wedding anniversary, and his opening line was he couldn't think of a better place to spend his 40th wedding anniversary than in Springfield, Massachusetts. And then Phil went on to talk about how Michael Jordan today Michael Jordan sells more product than he did when he played. He also talked about how Nike in the early days was thrown out of 2 different banks and constantly in debt and the absolute financial nightmare they faced every single day. But today Nike is sold in 180 countries around the world. And then he referred to Michael Jordan as the Nathan Hale, the Patrick Henry, the Che Guevara, and the Mao of politics. Someone who was willing to take a chance, do something different, and how well it all worked out, changing the world.
I'm
what
still amazed that you missed the boat on Nike yesterday when you were telling that story.
Unquestionably the worst professional decision of my life.
But a great one is to watch some college football and some great games coming up. Oklahoma and Baker Mayfield will take on West Virginia. Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series as the Sooners trying to stay in the top 4. Then college football primetime presented by Hampton Inn. Clemson and South Carolina square off at 7:30 Eastern. Both games are on ESPN. We found on the ESPN app.
I'm watching Texas and Duke, and I'm watching Gonzaga and Florida. Florida looked fantastic last night. Who's the coach of Florida? What a touch.
You're going to check it at the next timeout to see if it should be a 3.
I tell you, it went in the basket. That's what counts.
But it's just a question of is it 2 or 3 points?
If they can't figure it out watching the game, what are they doing?
Step back 3 from Jalik Felton. And the freshman hits from long range.
Jalik Felton just an absolute diamond in the rough. Did you know that Arkansas is the leading diamond producing state in the United States?
I did not know that.
Have you been to Arkansas?
I have been to Arkansas before.
Have you been to Hot Springs Mountain?
I have not been to Hot Springs Mountain, but I've been to Arkansas.
There are 47 hot springs coming out of that mountain. I need to go there.
Number 4, Brandon Robinson, back in for
I love Hot Springs. When I first came to Oregon here, I was freezing, right? I showed up with sandals and cut-off jeans and a tank top, right?
You weren't prepared?
I was not prepared. I had no idea. I had no idea that it was cold.
But you've been to Oregon before, and your day is playing at UCLA.
Right. We flew in. We played a basketball game at Mack Court, which was the hottest place on earth, and then we flew home.
Foul on Brandon Robinson of North Carolina, but you had to go out of the airport to get to the bus and the hotel.
We were there for maybe 24 hours.
You didn't realize it was cold?
No. Where I'm from,
that explains a lot.
Where I'm from, if it dips below 70 degrees, we just take a nap, a jacuzzi, or we go to Mexico and wait 20 minutes.
Darryl Macon missing the run, and the Tar Heels clear it.
San Diego, my hometown, record high for Thanksgiving Day.
On the sideline, it stays in North Carolina.
Yesterday, 87 degrees. All the children sent the pictures of everybody at the beach.
Your children sent the pictures?
Yes, absolutely. They still talk to me a little.
That's not what I hear.
I'm the luckiest and proudest dad in the world. Seventh Woods out there getting a chance to play a little bit. Kenny Williams really hasn't got it going. Maybe Seventh Woods will be the answer. How many other guys named Seventh do you know?
He's the only one that I know.
Whoa.
Tough shot from Joel Berry. Good defense from Trey Thompson. Out of bounds. Arkansas ball. Let's send it over to Jeff Goodman.
You know, Bill, there's been some social media outpouring right now questioning your validity of some of your comments. So I did some research, and I looked up how many hot springs are actually there are. And you know what? You're actually right, 47, Bill. This is monumental.
You sound surprised.
Everyone is, Bill, when you get a fact correct.
Please.
C.J. Jones rattles in the three. But you were an academic All-American.
And very proud of that. I'm also in the Academic All-America Hall of Fame.
Is anybody in there with you?
Quite a few. A lot of them from UCLA, too. A lot of them from Air Force.
And one for Brandon Robinson.
A lot of them from Notre Dame, too.
How about Stanford? They're in this tournament. I got to assume that there's a lot of Stanford people and Cal people as well.
I believe there's some. It's a combination of athletics and academics.
And the and one free throw from Robinson, who returned for this tournament after missing a couple of games with a shoulder injury. To the basket, Trey Thompson, and a block is called. And Thompson will head to the line. It's on Robinson, his second.
Have you ever been at the bottom of Hell's Canyon and looked up?
That's what it might feel like if I was at the bottom of that.
And your basic question is, how am I going to get out of here? Have you ever done any rafting?
I have done rafting before.
Which rivers?
Truckee River.
Nice.
Yeah. You like Lake Tahoe, don't you?
I love Lake Tahoe. Trail runner, Jim Wilkinson. So what other rivers besides the Truckee?
That's the only one. But I've done it numerous times.
Is this where you get in an inner tube and just kind of float down
No.
for a couple of hours?
We're in a boat. We're in a raft.
Or is this like a Lewis and Clark expedition? What years were the Lewis and Clark expedition? 1803 to 05. They had a good backcourt.
Lewis and Clark did.
And they were also incredibly helped by the Indians. And the intentions of Lewis and Clark may not have been so inclined to help the natives, but the natives helped Lewis and Clark, or they never would have made it. The Sioux Indians up in the upper Midwest in the first winter, and then the Nez Perce in the second winter, and then the Clatsop Indians.
Seventh Woods misses the three. Dustin Thomas the rebound for Arkansas.
If one guy from Arkansas would get hot and start playing the way that Macon played yesterday, Arkansas would have a 10-point lead in this game.
Right now it's the Tar Heels by 4. Poked
Great
away
hands.
by Woods.
7th, 8th, 9th.
Out of bounds. It stays with Arkansas.
How many of the 197 state parks in Oregon have you been to?
Of the 197 state parks.
197. How many have you been to?
I can't say that I've been to one, Bill.
Not a one?
That look was right there.
Oh, my God.
You're so disappointed in me. Joel Berry the rebound and a foul against the Razorbacks.
The Razorbacks are making ill-advised fouls. Gafford got one, and that one right there. Never
That's
fouled
on Darius
in the
Hall.
backcourt. You ever been to Milo McIver State Park out on the Clackamas River Basin?
Well, I just admitted I'd never been to a state park in Oregon, so clearly I've never been there.
You missed Vortex 1, the only state-sponsored rock and roll festival in the history of our country.
I hate to say, Bill, I wasn't aware of it.
Vortex 1? Please. This was one of the monumental events in the history of civilization.
One more for Joel Berry. So who performed there? I'm afraid to ask.
A lot of good local bands. Governor Tom McCall, who initiated the whole festival. 100,000 people showed up. It was 1970. It was right after Kent State, and Nixon was coming here.
So
to
what
speak
year
to
was this concert?
1970.
Bill, I wasn't born yet.
So you missed it.
Clearly.
Okay.
Here's C.J. Jones for the Razorbacks.
Poor
Inside
balance.
4 minutes to go in the half.
Whoa. This is not quite how you drew this play up.
Daryl Macon, the pull-up blocked by Theo Pinson.
Pinson is everywhere.
Joel Berry, the pull-up,
Nice.
hits the long two. Largest lead of the game for North Carolina, largest deficit Arkansas has faced in any game this season.
Both teams undefeated, right?
They are. Both teams coming in at 4-0.
That'll be different at the end of the game.
Thanks. That's why you're the academic All-American, Bill.
I'm very proud.
5 to shoot for Beard, and a foul on the perimeter against Seventh Woods of North Carolina. 8-point lead for the Tar Heels. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. And in part by Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings and all things winter.
Very nice comparison there. I like that. I think Kevin might be a little bigger, maybe a little stronger, but Kevin had a much different role at UCLA. I mean, Luke May, he plays off the ball. Kevin Love was the team. Yeah, in the brilliance of UCLA at the time, they had Russell Westbrook playing off the ball. But I like that.
Carolina's pressure here, they're forcing Arkansas to call timeout.
I like that, Coach Seth. Very nice. Keep stimulating me with questions, yes, and read Hard Labor by Sam Smith.
The victory bracket, which is our bracket, North Carolina, Arkansas. Later coming up, it'll be UConn against number 4 Michigan State in the other semifinal of the victory bracket. And the motion bracket going on next door at the Moda Center. Duke and Texas coming up in a bit.
27 steps away.
For you. How many steps for me, you think?
Well, how tall are you?
5'10".
No way.
You think I'm taller than that? Or am I shorter?
How tall is Jake over there?
And a shot clock violation.
Wow.
Arkansas turnover.
The wheels have come off here.
Out of the timeout to get a shot clock violation. That's tough.
Mike Anderson showing the calm facade, but man, that's just got to eat at you.
North Carolina trailing by as many as 6 early. They're up 8. Approaching 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. And Luke May with 12 points and 9 rebounds leading North Carolina.
I take it back, Coach Seth Greenberg. That is Kevin Love right there. Man, what a display of talent. And what a mind to be able to get open like that and just shoot it perfectly in rhythm.
Arkansas needs an answer here, Bill.
What do we got from Daniel Gafford so far for the Hogs?
Not done much.
How many fouls?
He only has 1. Daryl Macon, tough shot.
Look at that.
Justin Thomas can't get the putback. Loose ball hustling. Theo Pinson saves it, and the Tar Heels control.
And Luke May everywhere comes and saves the ball. Saves the day. The last 3 times that Arkansas has made the playoffs, North Carolina's been the team that sent it home every time.
Joel Berry gets his shot blocked. Bailey already 3 blocked shots for Arkansas. Battles out from C.J. Jones, and Luke May another rebound. A monster first half for May.
Daryl Macon, man, this has not been his day.
And a block by Adriel Bailey again for the Razorbacks.
And I just thought he would be spectacular today. Whoa.
And a foul will get Daryl Macon to the line with 1:09 to go in the half.
Because he had the huge game yesterday, but this has been a Luke May just magnificent performance. Coming off that screen and just stepping right into it. That's basically what you practice your entire life.
There is Luke May's family. And you mentioned Dad earlier, Mark. Was a quarterback in the mid-'80s for the Tar Heels.
No, which one?
1986, he led the ACC in passing.
But there was 10 people in that picture. Which ones were they? Okay. Blue shirt. Okay, I'm told it's the blue shirt, so
right
you
there.
take your pick.
Right there, on the aisle in the Carolina blue.
Okay. Okay.
So there is the May family.
That'll have to be a Jeff story. Because I haven't met the May family.
You got Jeff's name right.
Who?
Here's Theo Pinson to the basket.
I love Playtex games. You know who his favorite? I had a chance to meet him before today's game, and I asked him.
Is that Theo Pinson?
No, Andrew Playtex.
Oh.
The guy who threw the pass to Theo.
For North Carolina.
I like passing.
Number 3.
Yeah. Freshman.
Macon fires, and it rattles out. The rebound, Pinson.
So I asked Playtex who his favorite player was, right? Which I asked all the players on the conference. Luke May once again. Playtex said Klay Thompson. I don't get that answer a lot.
Speaking of Klay Thompson, his alma mater a big win today as Washington State beat St. Mary's at the Wooden Legacy down in Anaheim, or actually in Fullerton.
Wow. Washington
Good win.
State,
Bernie
30-10,
Kent, Washington
playing
State.
well. Washington State carrying the banner for the Pac-12 Conference of Champions.
The runner, and Anton Beard right before the half gets that hoop. But after an early quick start, Arkansas out to the lead. It's been all North Carolina and Luke May. 14 points, 10 rebounds for May to lead the Tar Heels.
What does it take to get your number retired there at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill? That was a performance right there. Congratulations, Luke May, for showing us how to play basketball.
37-26, North Carolina. We now send to the studio Chris Cotter and Seth Greenberg. You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's, part of PK80, presented by State Farm. Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon. Yes, it is Feast Week. And North Carolina feasting on Arkansas 37-26, getting ready to start the second half. This is the victory bracket of the PK80. The winner advances to the finals where they'll meet either UConn or Michigan State. The semifinal matchups here at the Glass Palace.
UConn's playing terrific ball out there. They
So is Luke May.
To Oregon. Well, Luke May, I mean, this was basically riding the big blue wave all the way. 363 miles of the Oregon coastline on full display here as Luke May basically just put on a clinic as to how to play basketball, particularly against players who are bigger and stronger and can jump higher than you, and that's when you know you're a real player. But to have 14 points and 10 rebounds as someone who Roy Williams is never going to call the play for Luke May. He's going to call it for his guards. He's going to call it for his promising young freshman there in the front court. But Luke May has made the most out of every golden opportunity in this phenomenal state of Oregon.
So May, his third double-double in 5 games to start the season. And the guard play, which we talked about at the top of the show, Bill, would be pivotal for Arkansas in this game. But Daryl Macon, Jalen Barford struggling to get going.
And they're behind.
They are.
Okay, so I think there's a correlation there.
And they've combined to go 3 of 13 from the field.
You win basketball games when your best players outplay the other team's best players. And right now, the best player by far has been Luke May. And somebody for Arkansas is going to have to do something to change that if they're going to have a chance to win. But there seems to be no slowing this guy down. And right now, he is in front for player of the PK80 tournament.
North Carolina's matched their largest lead. Just underway second half of this semifinal game in the victory bracket of the PK80. On the drive, it's Macon. Shot blocked. Kenny Williams with a rejection.
This giant step forward for Arkansas. It has not been a promising story for them.
They were really good yesterday in the win against Oklahoma.
But this is another level. I mean, you're talking one of the great programs ever and one of the great programs today. They're the reigning champions. They've got the most outstanding player from last year. And they got Theo Pinson, and they got all these 4 freshmen, and they got Kenny Williams. And really what they have is Luke May, and nobody's had anybody like him during the entire tournament.
I talked to Roy Williams coming out of the locker room, and he said after the first few minutes, he felt like Carolina played real well. he also said that he wants to keep the pace frenetic, but make sure that Carolina uses their length to their advantage.
And the biggest thing that I've noticed, Bill, since the start was taking care of the basketball. Turnovers were a real problem for North Carolina the first 5-6 minutes of the game, but then a much better job of handling the ball. And, of course, it helps when Luke May's knocking down shots.
He's playing like Larry Bird. I mean, everything he does is perfect, and his shot is hitting nothing but net, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it out there.
That off the mark from Jalen Barford.
You know how when you go to the playground, like you say you're going to Wallace Park, and you beautiful pass.
And the lay-in from Garrison Brooks.
Arkansas needs a timeout big time.
And they take one.
They need a lesson from Shoe Dog.
North Carolina has matched their largest lead. They're up 13 early second half of the semifinal matchup.
Arkansas needs Mr. Ito to come and push that check across the table when he says, how much? Oh my, Arkansas.
As we check out the motion bracket, which is going on next door at the Moda Center, getting ready for number 1 Duke, and Texas coming up next here on ESPN. And then tonight on ESPN2, number 7 Florida against Mark Few and number 17 Gonzaga, as they're getting ready to hook up over the Moda Center. Mike Krzyzewski, Shaka Smart. What a great matchup we have over there.
I'm always so relieved when the coaches make it to the game.
Were you worried?
I never feel comfortable until I get this shot. But that's their Final Four, right? Duke and Texas and Florida and Gonzaga. That is excellent right there. This is a tournament, greatest tournament in the history of college basketball. Tournament of champions. Luke May
2
sending
champions.
it back.
Out of bounds.
Garrison Brooks
Arkansas
sending
ball.
it back. This is a team. Seth Greenberg, that's his name in the studio, right?
Yes.
So he asked me yesterday if I thought that they could win the championship again. And watching them here this week, they can. These young guys are good. They don't know how good. They're going to have to listen to their coach and learn from their senior leaders.
And they'll get better once they get Cameron Johnson back from injury.
Right. He's coming back soon.
A few weeks,
right?
yeah.
A few weeks. Great defense, Luke May. The confidence that you get from winning the championship. Basketball is rhythm, momentum, confidence.
Trey Thompson from the corner, that's a 2.
Okay, so the way that Luke May has played in this game, that's what Mike Anderson needs from Trey Thompson.
And a reach-in foul on Jalen Barford, his 3rd. 40 years ago, anybody play like that for the Blazers?
Bobby Gross. Bobby Gross outplayed everybody he played against on the playoff run. And you know who he went against head-to-head? Scott May, David Thompson, Cassie Russell.
21 for Luke May.
Dr. J. 4, line them up. All of them champions, all of them National Players of the Year. Dr. J, Hall of Fame. David Thompson, Hall of Fame. Bobby Gross torched them all. And he was in that article featured. You showed me that magazine cover.
With you on the cover.
And you know who wrote that article? A North Carolina grad. Curry Kirkpatrick.
The scoop. Kenny Williams, and North Carolina has their largest lead. Across the key, and it's Jalen Barford who has 11.
But the way that North Carolina, even when they do give up a basket, they just get the ball in and bounce quickly, and that's always Luke May, who's just torching everybody out here.
Kenny Williams, his 2nd 3.
This is like the tide coming up the Columbia River. There's no stopping them. The Columbia River.
Pretty move by Daryl Macon.
Have you ever been to Oregon before?
I've been to Oregon with you before, Bill, yes.
Have you noticed that it rains here? Have you noticed the volume?
I have noticed that.
Have you noticed the volume of water that's always everywhere?
Theo Pinson is fouled.
I was staggered to see that the Columbia River is the 38th largest river in the world by volume.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter. And TD Ameritrade.
Arkansas, they're looking for some water right now.
Sometimes folks get a crazy idea in their head and they can't let it go, when maybe they should. Sometimes folks get a crazy idea and you better pay attention. Let everyone else call your ideas crazy. Just keep going. The PK80 College Basketball Tournament on ESPN.
Steve Jobs, who went to Reed College in the early days, which is right next to Eastmoreland, where Phil Knight grew up on Claiborne Street. Phil Knight's crazy idea was when he was going to Stanford, he had to write a paper, an entrepreneurial paper about a plan for the future. And he knew that the Japanese had revolutionized the camera market, that Germany had dominated forever. And so his thesis was that if the Japanese could do that with cameras and change the world, why can't we do that with shoes? Because shoes had always been dominated by Germany as well. And so he went to Japan, he climbed Mount Fuji, he met with all the people at Onitsuka, made the deal. The first shoes sold for $6.95. And Bowerman tore them all apart and fixed them all up, and oh my gosh, the rest is history. The crazy ideas, I love them. Thank you, Phil Knight. Thank you, Steve Jobs. I was downtown last night. I stumbled across, there was nobody out, it was Thanksgiving night, right? And I stumbled on the Nike store. And there in the window on one side was Kevin Durant, and there on the other side was Steve Prefontaine. Steve, the #2 athlete ever signed. The spirit, the heart, the core of Nike. Absolutely incredible. You read Shoe Dog?
We've covered this before.
I asked you a question.
The answer is yes.
Okay, thank you. The stories in that book about Steve Prefontaine, the quotes on the wall of the Nike store there in downtown Portland. And then right around the corner is the Apple store. What could be better?
Slow to get up for Arkansas as they're checking on, I believe that's
I can't tell who that is from that angle.
But that would be a costly injury, and here's what happened to Macon on this last play.
Rolled his own ankle. Ouch.
So it's Macon getting looked at.
So we can only hope that he's going to be okay.
Inside 15 minutes to go, and Arkansas down 14. They've trailed by as many as 16 in this game. Is Mike Anderson also coming over to check on Daryl Macon, the senior from Little Rock, who had 27 in their win against Oklahoma yesterday to get to the semifinal matchup against North Carolina.
One of the hardest things to do for young players is to play great on successive games.
The back-to-back.
No, just because when you're young and you play great, everybody thinks that. But
do you know you were great?
I did not lack the confidence on the basketball court. In life, yes, but on the basketball court, that's where I felt it. The way I feel at home on my bicycle today.
Daryl Macon trying to walk it off, and Arkansas needs him.
The way I feel at home sitting next to you. Roxy? Dr. No in the cockpit back there in the truck, wherever that may be.
Jalen Barford with the hoop for the Razorbacks. He has 13 to lead Arkansas.
Who's going to be the spark now? You got Macon heading to the locker room. Nobody playing well for Arkansas. Gafford, the guy that has the potential to get it done.
They need to get him going as he grabs the rebound.
It doesn't appear that he's ready at this point. He's just a freshman.
Jalen Barford single-handedly trying to pull Arkansas back. It's down to 9. And there is the full-court press and the turnover. C.J. Jones in and out on the 3, and the rebound, Brandon Robinson.
You've seen C.J. McCollum play. Oh, send it back, Gafford, yes. Shades of Akeem Olajuwon. Oh, nice pass.
Dustin Thomas by himself. 9 straight for the Razorbacks to close within 7.
Roy's going to call a timeout.
Turnovers were a problem early in this game when Arkansas jumped out to the lead.
Oh, he's going to let them go. He's going to see what they've got. Nice.
Joel Berry silences the run.
School him, Joe. Tease him. Little runner without ever even leaving the floor. That guy's got a beautiful game. Offensive foul. Talk about momentum change. Talk about a buzz kill here.
Second on Anton Beard.
Whoa. The life of a cameraman. Taking everything that comes your way. There's one right in your face, and then the big 7-footer just rolls right into you.
And holding their ground.
How many cameramen have had fractured eye sockets?
Can't answer that part. Gafford, the finger roll by the freshman.
The best I've ever seen Daniel Gafford play.
We're better than yesterday.
Yes.
Because yesterday was the first time you've seen him play.
Yes.
Theo Pinson out of control in the lane, and a charge.
Somebody should tell that fine young man that when you're 6'11", and you got the nicest body in the entire building, you don't take charges. Get in the air and block a shot. Beautiful. Step right through. And the ability to protect that ball and let the defender just run right by in front of you.
Did you ever take a charge?
No.
C.J. Jones from deep.
I never tried to take a charge. The dumbest thing in the world. Oh,
Very missing as Gafford changed his shot, but the follow from May.
He mistimed the jump. The ball took an extra bounce, and he was still able to just poke at it on his way back down. What a player. What a game.
Dustin Thomas the miss, and the rebound, Brandon Robinson. Joel Berry on the push.
That guy's got a game. Brandon Robinson.
Joel Berry, who's got game also, will go to the line.
How many teams in college basketball have depth like this?
Very few, especially the talent level that they have.
They're all like fantastic players. They got an incredible coach, a phenomenal legacy. They're wearing Nike shoes, Nike jerseys. You know, it was that U of A championship team, University of Arizona in 1997.
When Miles Simon was the most outstanding player in the Final Four.
But that was the first year that the champion wore both Nike shoes and Nike uniforms. Only 20 years ago.
Seemed to be some confusion at the scores table, with the officials trying to sort it out.
But the
North Carolina by 10.
The early schools in the Nike days, Georgetown, Syracuse, Oregon. How about you tell me one of your favorite stories? You tell me you've read Shoe Dog. I haven't heard you say one word about the book that you, maybe some of the things that you like.
Number one, you don't stop talking about the book.
Well, it's a fantastic book.
And number two, you've recited the whole book already.
That's not true. We are just getting started. We haven't talked about Bob Woodell. We haven't talked about his javelin that worked the broken window on the east side in the first office that cost him $50 a month, and they thought they were overpaying rent.
12 rebounds now for Luke May.
We haven't talked about
Kenny Williams will get to the line. It's on Gafford.
You know, we haven't talked about the fact that Phil, when he was the last one in the office that one day, he went through the desk and he saw that Penny and Bob were not cashing their paychecks, trying to keep the company afloat. Right now, it's the Razorbacks that are trying to stay in this game. Every time they make a run, it's Joel Berry reestablishing order in the universe.
It's cross-conference chaos of the best kind. The Big Ten ACC Challenge starts Monday.
So the Big Ten ACC Challenge is coming. This was a few minutes ago as Daryl Macon for Arkansas
Ouch.
That's when he rolled his ankle, has not returned, and Jeff Goodman with more.
Yeah, Daryl Macon right now in the back hallway trying to see what he can do, jogging, but it doesn't look good. I mean, he's at well less than 100% right now. May give it a go with that ankle injury, but again, doesn't look promising.
That would be really tough for Arkansas because Macon has played so well here at the PK80.
Daryl, who's a beautiful player and was super focused in before this game to come up with a monster performance, he might need to go over to the Multnomah Athletic Club and get in that nice jacuzzi.
Fourth foul, by the way, on Daniel Gafford is Kenny Williams now with 10. And keep in mind, Macon had 27 in their win against Oklahoma to get to the semifinal matchup with the Tar Heels.
What has he got now before he turned his ankle?
He has 7 points in this game.
Okay, that won't get it done. And now with a bad ankle, that makes things even worse.
But Barford has 18 single-handedly trying to do it for the Razorbacks.
And that's not going to be enough either. Have you ever been to the Multnomah Athletic Club?
I have been to the MAC Club.
Were you there this morning?
Not this morning.
Before the dawn?
Oh, yeah.
Theo Pinson, shot blocked by Bailey.
I missed you.
I wasn't there this morning. Were you there this morning?
Yes, I was. Weight room, pool, jacuzzi, shower. Tried to have breakfast, but the breakfast room was closed.
Probably because they knew you were coming.
A good decision.
Jalen Barford on the drive. And a foul against North Carolina.
So one of the cool
and it's
things,
on Joel Berry.
One of the cool things about Shoe Dog is Phil talking about the early morning run. And to go out there and just get it done, even when you're not feeling right. And that first step, oh my gosh.
Too strong from Barford, out of bounds. Last touch by Arkansas.
What was the shot clock on that attempt?
Didn't take a peek at it, but they had plenty of time still.
Shot selection. Luke May, standing ovation by this raucous crowd here at the Memorial Coliseum. You know, they used to have the standing room only slots here when this was an active NBA building. You knew that this was an active NBA building for many years.
And I've heard you played in this building.
And this building...
Kenny Williams, another three.
This building has the all-time all-sport record for consecutive sellouts. 18 straight years the Blazer Maniacs packed this place every game. 12,666. The Grateful Dead couldn't even get tickets when they were in town and wanted to go to the game. They had to stand in the slots. Oh my gosh.
You couldn't do anything for them?
I was never so embarrassed in my life.
Joel Berry.
Nice!
Arkansas ball.
This guy Seventh Woods is a nice looking player out there.
Two-time South Carolina Mr. Basketball. Seventh Woods, yeah.
They've got players. Jalik Felton.
Jalik Felton?
Jalik. How many guys named Jalik do you know?
Just one. As Adriel Bailey with the hoop for Arkansas. You know who his uncle is, don't you?
Raymond.
Yes. Theo Pinson for the Tar Heels.
This is my second North Carolina game as a broadcaster.
Ever?
Ever. My first was yesterday.
You impressed, Bill? They are the defending champions.
Most impressed. And one of the coolest things is all the people I know who...
Anton Beard for the Razorbacks. Hits from outside.
Oh, beautiful transition offense.
Kenny Williams to the basket.
You know what? Arkansas has no chance if they're just going to fall on their backside. You can't just let somebody come out there and run you over trying to take a full charge.
Did John Wooden ever try to get you to take a charge?
No.
Kenny Williams blocked from behind, but the cleanup from Brandon Robinson.
And the blue wave keeps tipping over the top. You ever go surfing or body surfing in the Oregon coast? Oh,
not in the Oregon coast.
That water's cold.
I'm more of a warm water guy.
You ever been to Haystack Rock?
No.
Third largest.
Whistle and a foul on North Carolina.
Oh, what a beautiful place there. from behind. Fantastic defense. That's Scottie Pippen. That's LeBron James.
That was you in this building 40 years ago. What year was that?
Roxy, I never caught anybody from behind.
Were you ever caught from behind?
Many times.
Now, can you catch somebody on your bike from behind?
No, I'm always at the back. I always finish last. And I have the biggest smile on my face. Where would be your dream Oregon vacation? Doing what?
My dream Oregon vacation is a 5-second call.
Oh my gosh, they still have that rule? Mike Anderson can't believe it. I'm just befuddled. What do you need a 5
Inside 8 minutes to go. Carolina trying to advance to the championship game. $15-point lead for the Tar Heels, 7:54 to go. Well, this was 40 years ago, Bill, and you were talking about your bike. Well, how about this?
That's Broadway, and the people climbing the light posts. And Jack Ramsey, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that the guy that took my bike, I started on my bike today sometime. I want to make sure that guy brings it back to me. I mean, it's like it's the only bike I have.
All right, you got to explain this story.
What's to explain? I needed my bike back.
Did you get it back?
Yes, I did. Maurice and I, we spent the night. We ended up at Lionel's house late, very late. And we lost track of everything. But then I got up and I
your bike?
No, my bike was at home in Northwest, and so I walked or hitchhiked across town to get my bike to ride to the parade. And I rode down to the parade from Northwest Portland. And when I got there, I mean, it was basically like rolling into the Grateful Dead parking lot.
Had you slept?
No. And then I started off on the parade on my bike, and then I just got separated from my bike. And then I got pushed to the front of the parade at the stage, and I needed my bike back. And
who had it?
I don't know, but the great people here in Portland. About 3 days later, I got it back, and it was just fantastic. And the bike is still in the family. Our oldest son had Adam, who has the bike, and it's a beautiful bike.
Darius Hall with the basket will go to the line for and one.
But that was a good time.
It sounds like it was. Let me think. You just won a championship in 1977 in Portland. Sounds like some good times.
Yeah. It was a culmination of the idea and the dream of the Vortex 1 from Milo McIver State Park. We had a farm, a ranch out there in the same area. It was, oh my gosh, up on the top of the mountain and looking out over the Cascades. And just fantastic. Eagle Creek and the waterfalls.
Arkansas's cut it to 12, but it's back to 14. Andrew Platek, his first points.
Platek looking like Klay Thompson out there, just slashing by everyone. Oh, Luke May. I've never seen him play better. Again, what is the record for the most blocked passes on one possession?
I'm guessing that's a stat that they don't keep.
That's not true. They keep it all. What do we got for Luke May?
Here's some notes for this game. He has 23, career high of 26 earlier this season against Northern Iowa. But the key injury for Arkansas is Daryl Macon. Left the game with an ankle injury, and we haven't seen him since.
That's a misleading statement, Rossi, because that ankle injury happened after this game was decided.
So you're saying it was already decided with about 15 minutes to go?
Yes.
Arkansas could not have come back?
Not the way they were playing. They could have. I mean,
well, they had some energy in the start of the second half. Bill, they wanted a 9-0 run. They cut it to 7.
Yeah, and as soon as they did, Joel Berry said, look, this is how this game is played. And he just made a couple layups, set up a few buckets for Luke May, got out in transition.
Well, with
Look, the other team is going to score. But one of the great things about North Carolina is that they just keep playing. And nowhere was that more evident than in last year's championship game when they weren't playing well. And then Justin Jackson and Theo Pinson said, look, it's not happening for us, but we're not going to quit. And it was just a thing of beauty.
With 13 minutes to go in the game, this was a 7-point game. It was 55-48. North Carolina with the lead. Since the Tar Heels have gone on a 17-7 run.
Okay, we have an inexplicable stoppage of play here, so let's just take a quick dive into shoe dog, okay? I know you don't like to travel. I know you don't like to read.
That's not true.
Oh, good, they're here.
There's Grayson
We
now.
can have a game. Yes, the coaches are here, the players are here. Why did they come separately?
How do you know they weren't on the same bus?
Because the other shot was shown 10 minutes ago.
Well, maybe they were on the same bus, and we just decided to hold some stuff
Is
back.
that Mo Bamba right there? I
Yes,
have not seen him play yet. I'm looking forward to that.
You should go next door and watch him.
He's got another game.
No, you really should go next door and watch him.
We've got another game.
It's only 27 steps away for you.
It's a beautiful walk.
25 for Luke May, and the Tar Heels have matched their largest lead.
And in this building, they're starting to chant Luke, Luke for Luke May instead of the legendary Maurice Lucas, number 20 in your program, number 1 in your heart. I'm told that Maurice's second son, David, is here today and was here yesterday. I haven't seen him.
Battles out from C.J. Jones.
Tell you, that's the most accurate statement I've ever heard Seth Greenberg say. Caught me off guard when he said that, hey, is that Kevin Love? Because I hadn't seen that.
Now a foul on May, but
I see it now. Okay, you don't like to travel, you don't like to read.
That's not true.
So how
both
about
of those
shoe
statements
dogs?
are incorrect.
Every place I ask you, have you been there? You say no.
So?
Every book I ask you,
No,
you
you asked
say
me.
no.
I've been to Oregon before, and I've been with you. You didn't remember.
So, how about that trip that Phil Knight took when he was 24? The trip around the world to find himself before he implemented the crazy idea.
Let everyone else call your idea crazy?
No, he called it crazy.
But just keep going. That's what Phil Knight wrote. See?
But
come on, Bill. Give me some credit.
Give you all the credit in the world. Finally, Daniel Gafford. I give you credit for sitting next to me here more than once. Beautiful. Pass to yourself off the board. Charles Barkley, Danny Ainge, Larry Bird.
Inside 5.5 minutes to go.
So how many of these places have you been to?
Okay.
Hong Kong.
I've not been to Hong Kong.
Philippines. This is a long list.
I've been there.
Bangkok.
No.
Vietnam.
No.
Calcutta.
Nope.
Kathmandu.
Nope.
Bombay.
Nope.
Kenya.
No.
Cairo.
No.
Jerusalem.
I plan on going to
Istanbul. The Bosphorus. Rome. Florence. Milan. Venice. Paris.
And
Munich.
A turnover on North Carolina.
Berlin.
You mentioned Danny Ainge. Bill.
Danny's here today. He looks thrilled.
About the same facial expression he had when he saw you in the locker room.
He said, what is he doing here? Oh my gosh. Now Danny should be in the Hall of Fame.
Gafford will go to the line.
So the list continues. How about Munich?
No.
How about Berlin?
No.
Vienna?
No.
London?
Keep going.
Greece?
No.
Okay. You don't like to travel. I was right. So that was the trip that Phil took. And when he came home, he had long hair and a beard. And when he walked into the house on Claiborne Street, his family didn't recognize him.
Did your family recognize you when you showed up with long hair and a beard?
I was on television a lot. And so they knew I had long hair.
Did John Wooden recognize you?
No, he refused to acknowledge me.
I have those same thoughts every day.
So when I came here 43 years ago, I signed the largest contract in the history of all team sports. And everybody was all excited. Agents and the media and the fans and the Blazers. And the only thing I cared about was that nobody was going to tell me to shave or cut my hair after 4 years of showing up. I don't think they believe me.
C.J. Jones
finally, okay.
His third three.
5 more of those and we've got a game.
12-point game, 4:20 to go.
But somebody's going to have to do something to slow down Luke May, who's playing like he's going to be the next retired number in Chapel Hill.
Playtech misses a three. Arkansas pushes. Jones, trail three.
There you go.
Back-to-back threes from C.J. Jones, and Arkansas is within 9. Career high 12 for the sophomore Jones.
Finally, signs of life. It's as if Mount St. Helens is trembling. Going to explode and leave a bus stop in its place.
The miss from Luke May. Gafford the rebound.
Whoa.
Barford, and a block is called. Count the basket for Jalen Barford.
What a turn of events. We had called this over.
No, you had called this over. I didn't say that.
Yeah, you're jumping ship quickly.
7-point game, 3:32 to go. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
If you're
All right, Chris, we got a ball game as Arkansas on a 9-0 run. The Razorbacks rallying from 16 down. They're within 7, 3:32 to go. This is the victory bracket, the motion bracket next door. Duke will tip off against Texas shortly. Then tonight, a great one between Florida and Gonzaga in the other semifinal of the motion bracket at the Moda Center.
What's the update on Daryl Macon? Is he coming back?
We have not seen him since he rolled the ankle.
C.J. Jones is more than made up for him with those back-to-back threes.
And Jalen Barford now with 21 points. Arkansas has scored 10 straight. They're within 6. The closest they've been in a long time.
Get the ball to Luke May. Penetration and dish.
Joel Berry and a foul. And Berry will head to the line. There is Daryl Macon on the bench, but he's got the warm-up on. Rolled his ankle here earlier in the second half.
Who are the other players besides Joel Berry to have scored 20-plus points in consecutive NCAA championship games?
I know who the last one prior to Joel Berry was.
Well,
and I'm sitting next to him.
But how about Kareem, Gail Goodrich, UCLA legends, Bill Russell, Bob Kurland, from back when Oklahoma State was doing so well. And then Charlie Singley from LaSalle. You familiar with his game? Offensive foul here.
And a turnover, and Mike Anderson not happy.
I love Joel Berry's game. I love his hair and his beard. How much different life would have been if I could have had a beard and hair in college.
Well, you had one in the NBA.
Yeah, but it was the NBA.
Theo
throw it down.
Hello.
It's got to be the shoes.
10-point game, inside 3 to go, and Pinson with the emphatic spike.
Great play, teamwork.
2-on-1. Kenny Williams to the basket. And after Arkansas cut it to 6 in a row for the Tar Heels.
They just turn it on whenever they want to. One of the great things about North Carolina and Roy Williams is that they don't beat themselves. You know, you've got to play great They don't break down defensively. They don't do careless turnovers. They don't play selfishly. They don't get killed on the boards. But even though when they're not playing great, they still have a chance. And you've got to show that you've got a game to do something about the outcome.
Time to check out our assist of the game, brought to you by State Farm.
Nice pass. Luke May everywhere. That Kenny Williams. What a player. Where does he rank in the pantheon of brilliance in North Carolina history?
He's got a little ways to go to
He does?
charts. Yeah, they've had some decent players over the years.
Well, how many? They got 9 Hall of Famers. Is he on the way to that? It's early still.
The jury's still out on that one.
Okay.
But his team is up by 12. After Arkansas went on a 10-0 run to trim it to 6.
Did you ever have the privilege of watching, or knowing, or being with Billy Cunningham?
I have not had the pleasure.
Oh, man. You need to get out more, please. That guy's awesome. Double
and a double dribble on Kenny Williams.
Whoa. I must have blinked.
2:22 to go. The winner of this game advances to the Victory Bracket Championship game Sunday at the Moda Center.
Tell you, that final 4 on the other bracket, what's that called over there? The traveling?
That's the motion.
Traveling?
The motion bracket.
You walked. You traveled. You took too
The
many
Nike
steps.
swoosh creates motion.
No. You know what the swoosh means?
Rebound by Pinson.
You know what swoosh means?
You explain.
Do you know how much they paid for the swoosh? You didn't read the book.
$1.
No. $35. Carolyn Davidson, who was over at Portland State.
Luke May, 3, a career-high 28.
So
4 threes from May.
Are you? Have you jumped back onto the ship?
If the game's over?
Do you know what swoosh means?
I don't remember.
Here.
You got me on the spot.
Here.
Okay, should I start
Just
reading?
take a look.
All right.
Okay. Down the lane, the little jab step, and then the step back by Luke May. Just
Their dad got the high five.
So you don't know what swoosh means. Swoosh is the sound of someone running by you very fast.
See, I've never experienced that feeling because I don't run fast.
No, the other people are running by you fast. Oh, Luke. Does Luke have a career high?
He does, 28 points.
It was 26. When was that set?
Earlier this season against Northern Iowa. And 16 rebounds for May, also a career high.
Beautiful. Great job by Theo Pinson to draw the defender to allow that open seam. And the crowd here rising at one. The Memorial Coliseum saluting the legendary program, North Carolina. How many times have they been to Oregon before?
This is their third.
Third time ever.
Third time.
But not to the PK 80.
No, this is the first PK 80. They were part of the Far West Classic.
Yeah.
Tonight, Sports Center at 11 Eastern after Virginia Tech and Virginia. The day before the Iron Bowl, Marty Smith goes one-on-one with Nick Saban. You know what the Iron Bowl is?
That's Auburn, Alabama football.
There you go. Also, a look back
Football.
at Ohio State and Michigan, some of the great games, and why this could be the greatest of them all. The Cavs go for 7 in a row.
I love LeBron James.
They're on a roll. Sports Center, 11 p.m., and always streaming live on the app.
The current epitome of excellence in all things. So have you read Sam Smith's new book? You know who Sam Smith is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I have not read his new book, no.
New book is Hard Labor. It's the story of Oscar Robertson was celebrating his 79th birthday. You remember at the beginning of this game, right?
I'm trying to forget it, but yes.
Okay, so Sam wrote a book about, because Oscar was the head of that Players Association. And Oscar led the class action suit that allowed free agency in basketball. which changed the whole complexion of everything. And it's what led to the NBA being the multi-billion-dollar industry that it is right now. Thank you, Oscar, and thank you, Sam Smith, for hard labor and telling that story. Because you know what it says? The opening words in Shoe Dog, Phil's dedication to his grandchildren so that they will know the story. And Sam Smith continues to do that. Hard labor.
Well, after Arkansas cut it to 6 on a 10-0 run, it's been all Tar Heels since. They've run off 13 in a row to put this game away. And Bill, how many points are they ahead by?
I'm going to say that's 19.
Good job.
Do you know that there was a Final Four played in this building, 1965? Who won the game?
In 1965?
UCLA beats Michigan. It's the first game I ever saw on television.
So North Carolina advances to the championship.
So they've got a chance to
victory
win
bracket.
another championship here.
They will play Sunday 5:30 Eastern against the winner of UConn and Michigan State, which will come at midnight Eastern on ESPN. But the Tar Heels are in the victory bracket championship game, and it was all Luke May and North Carolina as they win it 87-68. For Bill Walton and our great crew, Roxy Bernstein, so long from the Glass Palace. The Moda Center coming up shortly, Texas and Duke. But first, Chris Cotter and Dallin Cup.